Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Hope you are having a beautiful time. Today I'll be showing you guys how to sew an agbada step by step as always. In case you haven't seen the video of the cutting, it will be on the channel or I'll put a link in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like, and if this is your first time on the channel, consider subscribing. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. I'm already done with this outfit, but let's go back 20 minutes before now. Pa! So this is what the agbada is going to look like after we're done the embroidery. As you can see, this is what it's going to look like. So the next thing we're going to do now is to attach our sleeve extension. So firstly, I will advise you to iron these edges or the edges of the embroidery. Iron it from the inside in order to have a smooth face, in order to have a smooth front. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to attach our sleeve. So during the cutting video, if you haven't watched it, I will advise you to go and check it. We cut our sleeve and we cut two sleeve extensions, which is one for the right and one for the left. So on our sleeve, we make a notch, as you can see on my hand. We make a notch that we're going to attach to the shoulder. So let's take that to the sewing machine now, and we're going to align the shoulder and the notch together and sew it. So in order to join the sleeve right here on my machine, as you can see from the shoulder side, as you can see, I already chalked my fabric. This is the wrong side, so I'll be placing the right side of the fabric on the machine. So the right side will be facing me, as you can see. So the right side of the fabric also will be facing the right side of the sleeve, as you can see. So I believe you can see that. Very simple. So your right side has to be facing your right side of the fabric, just like that. So I'll be placing it on the sleeve, and I'll be leaving an half of an inch for the turn up of the sleeve. So as you can see, I'm not sewing it just like straight up together. I'm leaving like half of an inch for the turn up of the sleeve itself. I believe you can see that. So whenever you're doing this sleeve, make sure your hand is straight and you are not dragging the fabric, so that you will not be having gathers after this on the stitch after you sew it. You can see that. So I'm going to start the stitch from the sleeve just straight down, and I'm going to do the other side also. So after I'm done stitching the both sides, you can see that. So the inside, you're going to have this. So you're just going to open it into two, just like that. And the next thing we're going to do now is to make our top stitch. You're just going to bend it over the stitch, just like that. You can see. Just like that. Make sure your hand is straight, and I'm going to start stitching at the tip of the fabric itself. Make sure you're stitching at the tip of the fabric. At this part, you can see that I have a little bit of extension. It is longer than the sleeve itself. It is no issue. You might face that the same situation. You are going to trim it off. So as you can see how smooth that is, your hand has to be very straight so that you will not be having gathers on the stitch part. So make sure you are not dragging your body eyes when doing that. So I'll be doing the same thing on both sleeves like that. So after we're done stitching it like that, the next thing we are going to do is to give it a good ironing. Then we are going to fold our sleeve. Remember, we added 3.5 inches on our sleeve when we were doing the cutting aspect, so we will fold in 3.5 inches. So after ironing it, you can see I already ironed the inside. So the next thing I'm going to do is to fold in my sleeve. As I said earlier, I'll be folding 3 inches, right? 3 inches. We added an extra 3 inches to our sleeve allowance during the cutting. If you haven't seen the video of the cutting, I would advise you to go and check it. So I'll be folding half of an inch after I fold in my 3 inches. I'll be folding half of an inch, and I'll be putting an hemming gum at that side to hold it down before I'll be doing the stitches on it. So very, very simple. Just do that. So I already fold this. Let me show you guys. It is very, very important to do this. After folding this edge like this, and I fold half of an inch inside, I'll be inputting my hemming gum. The reason for this is basically because if you don't use an hemming gum and you sew your sleeve like that, your thread will be making a gathers in the front after you sew it completely. It won't be standing firm. That's the reason for the hemming gum. So that's about it. So it's very simple. Just follow it up. So as you can see, after stitching the sleeve, you can see how smooth it is, and if you look at the front panel, you can see that our stitch is just smooth. Just give it a good ironing. Just give it a good ironing and make sure it is very, very smooth. So the next thing we are going to do now is to close our hem, which is the leg part. So just turn your fabric to the wrong side. You can see, so this is the right side, while this is the wrong side. So the two right side will be facing each other, just like that. You can see that. So the right side will be facing each other. So now I'm going to mark my 3 inches. Remember, we added 3 inches on our length when we were cutting it. I'm going to mark my 3 inches right there. And from the sleeve, I'm going to measure 7.5 at that side. Basically, it's always between 7.5 and 7 inches, depending on the length of your sleeve. But on this one, it's a maxi, so I'll be stitching 7.5 at that side. You can see 7.5, just on that straight line. And I'll be doing the same thing on the other side of the sleeve, exactly the same thing. So after closing that side, I can fold and do the same process I did on the sleeve, on that hemming also, and run a stitch on it. So after stitching that part, you can see what I have. I want you guys to pay attention to that. You can see there is an opening for the leg at that side. That's what we're going to have. So I'm going to fold this upward just like that. I'll be folding my 3 inches all straight down, just like that. Very, very simple. So after folding it, this is the first one. So I just fold it by half of an inch at the tip. So simply after that, I'm going to put my hemming gum. This is very, very simple. I'm going to put my hemming gum and I'm going to iron it. So after putting the hemming gum, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side also and give it a full ironing. So that is all about making an agbada. Very, very simple. So after that, all you just have to do is just to give it a good ironing. So this is what we're going to have after giving it a good ironing. Fold it, and that is about it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like. That's a thumbs up. And if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you subscribe to see more videos like this. And I'm going to see you guys on my next video. Peace and enjoy yourself.